Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boisterous coming to you with some Bronze League Badassery out of the map Daybreak. Spying down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we have AngryZombie as the red Terran, and up here in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, MgProCoombs. It looks like his name is supposed to be Combs, but Combs doesn't have two O's. So, Coombs, and he got a little bit... It's a fancy N. I don't know why I did that. Okay, well this is already off to a ridiculous start. I don't know why you would want to have Batman. I would prefer to have fun over having Batman. I don't know about anybody else. That's just me personally. We have AngryZombie going for kind of an early supply depot. Usually you drop that at like 10. You don't cut SCVs to build your first supply depot. That kind of defeats the purpose of having an early supply depot. Which is kind of odd. That's actually extremely odd. I don't know why you would do that. AngryZombie, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And I should just mention that the Bronze League is completely speculatory of this type of play. Because I actually did go through and watch the entire replay, because I'm a bad person. I didn't decide to cold cast this one because I didn't actually know what league it was from. So it's completely speculatory of many different aspects, such as that supply depot there that was dropped a bit too early and seems kind of like a bronzy mistake. I don't know. We have both players taking exceedingly early gases, actually. Probably going to see at least a little bit of tech out of this game. That's usually what happens if the refinery comes down in the middle of the barracks. Because, honestly, there's no other way to play that. Because refinery in the middle of the barracks isn't the fastest refinery, but it's pretty close. I mean, I guess you could go for that refinery that lets you get the factory as soon as the barracks is done, but that's kind of ridiculous. And we actually see AngryZombie is not taking advantage of that early gas, whereas MgProCoombs is putting two SCVs in it, so he's taking a bit more advantage of it. But it's almost like AngryZombie didn't even know that was that he built that, because he only has the one SCV in it, like the one SCV that was building it, so he didn't even pull all the SCVs out of it. He just has kind of a minuscule amount, and he's actually dropping a second gas geyser without even using the first, really, which is kind of odd. I'm not sure if he knows that you can put more than one guy in gas. You should probably do that, AngryZombie, just as a by the way. Anyway, we have both players going for extremely standard builds, just the barracks and the wall off at the front, which again, not sure how I feel about it. I don't really like wall offs at the front. In any matchup that is not versus Zerg, I don't like him that much. I'm probably just crazy, but that's me personally. We have MgProCoombs going for that factory, as was indicated by the earlier refinery, which still only has two harvesters in it. So maybe we're gonna see some level of Hellion play first. I think that's a possibility, purely because if you're going for anything higher tech, you'd probably put a third guy in that refinery and even drop a second one, because honestly, you can't build all that many siege tanks off of two guys in one refinery. You can't even really start that many siege tanks, because you need to spend 25 on the tech lab, 100 on the siege tank research. Siege tank research is 100, right? I might be completely getting my numbers wrong. However, we'll see in a second. We do actually have AngryZombie also dropping his factory, but it is up much later, which is odd considering the fact that he has more refineries than his opponent, and actually the same amount of gas harvesters. AngryZombie, you can put more than one guy in those. I know you're trying to improve, like, mining, the level of life in mines, but it's just, you don't win wars like that. You don't win wars like that. We also see him kind of interestingly completely cutting SCV production and building way too many supply depots. If we just look at his supply real fast, it's 18 out of 43. It's actually 18 out of 51 right now. This is certainly too much supply. We have siege tank research coming out for MgProCoombs, and I kind of forgot to see how much that cost. Okay, there's a tech lab coming down on this factory, so I'm just going to camp it real fast. What slot is it in? It's in the second one. Okay, so I'm going to get this number, and it better be 100, because if not, I was very wrong, and I will be extremely depressed. It looks like we might actually have some level of Banshee play coming out from AngryZombie, purely because I don't see him going for that siege tank research, especially this late in the game, plus the fact that he has this starport sitting right next to the factory. Is he going to swap him? Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. Actually, I guess I can see Siege Tank Research coming out this late from him. He hasn't exactly been playing optimally this game. MgProCoombs, first tank is done. Siege mode is almost completed, and as we can see, because he actually now has enough harvesters in both gases, but he still had a slower gas income in the earlier parts of this game, which is kind of, I feel, hindering him right now, because he would probably like to be making more tanks. Tanks are something that there is a cap to how many you want, but it's very, very high. I mean, you don't want all tanks, because then, one flying unit kills your entire army, but you certainly want a lot of tanks in almost every matchup of every game. At least half of your army supply, I would say most people want in tanks, especially if you're going for this sort of marine siege tank play, which is almost indubitably what he's going for. He does have the medevac on the way, which is another indicator of that play. AngryZombie, he doesn't like he doesn't like the idea of rally points. I mean, who does really? They're kind of just, again, they're just reducing the quality of life for your Marines. They need to run places as soon as they get out of the barracks. But if I have them run back here, eventually I'm going to need them to run across the base again. That's rough on them. You can't make them do that too much. They're wearing really heavy armor, and I'm wearing heavy armies. We have the Tech Lab researching Siege Tank Research. Of course, the Siege Tank Research is much, much later than his opponent. His opponent already has 3 tanks sieged up at the front versus the just 1 of AngryZombie. So AngryZombie is actually pretty significantly behind as far as tech this game. He does finally finish up that Siege Tank Research. However, the scan went down, and he should have seen the Tech Lab going, and that basically scanned all of the production except for, this one engineering bay that doesn't really pose that much of a threat because it wasn't a really early engineering bay. It didn't really signify any sort of early attacks. And I would just like to really quickly point out, this is not a good spot for a sensor tower, because you don't actually sense anything around your base. Like, if you see a drop coming on the sensor tower, it's like, oh, the drop's already here. Look at that. If you're building a sensor tower, build it like near the edge so that you see the drop coming from over here and you can actually react to it. Or even better, build one up here and down here so that you could just cover every avenue of attack. We see the poor little Marauder being left behind by the medevac, which is these guys need love, and they're ready to roll. And here comes the medevac flying out for our red Terran player. He's probably going to be going for a drop. However, honestly, MgProCoombs is pretty much well set up. Actually, I just noticed this. Why does he have a missile turret here? I mean, the main concentration of his army is up at the front of his base, and he just put a missile turret down there so that he's extra protected from the drop at the front. Yeah, that's super scary. That's super scary, dropping the front play. We have MgProCoombs. Actually, it was seen by the Zolaga Tower, of course. And now this drop is just getting absolutely demolished. Basically, actually, no, absolutely no damage done. It didn't even land a hit on a siege tank or a marine or anything. It literally did 0 damage. We have a drop from MgProCoombs getting sniped off pretty easily. I'm surprised AngryZombie didn't siege mode. Actually, I should stop saying that. I'm not really surprised. It's something that I kind of saw coming, and that was kind of a pathetic drop. It didn't do anything. Why are there so many missile turrets? I'm just noticing these now. There are so many missile turrets. He's building another missile. He's building 2 more missile turrets. He's built 3, 4. What? Is this guy playing like Brood War versus the computer AI? I don't understand. There's so many turrets. He's just like ringing his base in turrets. He's literally ringing his base in turrets. Oh my god. What the hell? I don't understand. I no longer comprehend this game. I wonder if he realizes that this is actually siegeable from the mainland. I hope he'll get that eventually. Maybe his opposing Terran player will teach him a lesson in how siegeable that position is, because it's definitely siegeable. MgProCoombs now actually only has 4 tanks. He did lose one in that engagement, but would have expected him to still have a higher number. Um, Primarily because, you know, he's had a factory this entire time. How many siege tanks does he actually have? Yeah, he's 5 now. That's actually that's a really low number. I'm kind of befuddled by that. And I'm also surprised that he does not have a reactor, especially considering the amount of money he has. He should have like 9 more barracks, a reactor on this starport, and he should just be cranking units. I also don't know why he's going for such heavy Marauder production, because he's playing versus a Terran. And honestly, you don't need Marauders for almost anything versus Terran. They're not that great against siege tanks. I guess you could say siege tanks, but, you know, there's better options to siege tanks, like more siege tanks of your own, in my opinion, just because if you could play that sort of positional game, which again, a lot of people can't, it's one of the reasons I play Zerg, but if you can play that positional game, you can get really, really far ahead with the siege tanks, and it's just better to have more of your own. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 missile turrets. That's literally like 1.5 thousand minerals worth of missile turret, and I don't know why. It is managing to keep his mineral count low, and we see that he also has not expanded, which is another reason why his mineral count is quite low. He hasn't even taken it natural yet. His opponent is going up to 3 bases. That's usually when you expand. And I know it seems that I'm kind of ripping into this guy a lot. That's because he's doing a lot of stuff poorly. We have the command center going up in this top left-hand corner, and still 15 missile turrets. I would just like to point out to everybody, don't do that. Please don't do that. Don't play the Brood War custom games. Just don't. That's actually, no, it's 16 missile turrets. I completely counted that wrong. So yeah, it is basically 1.5 thousand minerals in missile turret. Not the smartest thing. And we actually see a Doom Drop loading up. No, just 2 siege tanks loading up into a medevac. That's kind of odd. Oh my god, it's my scrolling. Yes. Tonight's movie is Brokeback Mining Station, everybody. Man, this scroll is so funny. I can't believe they actually made a Brokeback Mountain reference in the game. Oh, Blizzard, you so silly. How did he actually know about this? What? How did he know about this command center? I don't understand, but the command center is gonna not finish. It's actually at 100 out of 100, but it does get the cancel off, which is kind of sad for ProCoombs, because if he had actually just sniped that command center off, it would have done so much more damage to his opponent. I think he should let the SCV finish it, and then just killed the command center while it was on the ground before his opponent could float it away. Or even if his opponent did float away, at least try to set it on fire maybe. Because really, losing those 400 minerals for his opponent is pretty crucial. If we look at his mineral fields, he's already running out of some of them. He only has 6, where originally he had 8, and now he actually only has 5. He's already losing a lot of minerals, and he's expanding, but MgProCoombs is on 3 bases, and all 3 of those are orbital commands, so this is actually an extremely greedy build, but he's going to get away perfectly fine with it, because if you just look at the army size, MgProCoombs is dominating AngryZombie, and this is exactly why, if you're like a bronze player, your macro is so important, because honestly, there's no microing a battle of this army versus this army. There's no microing. I can't think of one person in the world that would be able to win this engagement. Purely because it's just, they could literally unsiege all their tanks, move into siege tanks, and like well set up marauders and marines, maybe in like a choke point where their numbers are kind of non-existently mattered, and you would probably still win, just because there's way more medevacs on this side of the field. If you look at the medevac count, it's 9 to 2. Which is a huge thing, especially considering the fact that I'm confuzzled by these Vikings. I don't get it. Yeah, this is definitely what to do in lower level TBT, and this is definitely what not to do in lower level TBT. I think we actually have both sides of the spectrum in this game. That's kind of fun to watch, isn't it? Yeah, it is. We have the Doom drop. Yeah, I'm guessing it's going to be a Doom drop because all the siege tanks are on siege and getting into medevacs. And actually, he doesn't have enough medevacs to carry his entire army. That's kind of sad because I think Red does. I mean, he does actually have a lot of Vikings. Why does he have so many Vikings? I don't comprehend. Anyway, the army from our blue Terran player is going to be moving out. This is a really huge Doom drop. Now, one medevac is actually completely unloaded. He should probably fix that. But AngryZombie, surprisingly enough, is good at upgrades. He does have Terran infantry weapons +2. He's about to get +3 versus the 0-0, I do believe, of ProCoombs. Yes, the 0-0 of ProCoombs. Now, of course, if he runs into this, he's going to lose 1 or 2 medevacs purely because of the fact that there are missile turrets here. However, hopefully there are not going to be like 2 medevacs containing siege tanks, because that's half of his siege tank numbers. Hopefully it'll be one of them containing like Marauders, because Marauders aren't going to play a huge factor in this upcoming engagement. We do have quite a few Marines and Marauders out in the middle of the field for ProCoombs. He's probably going to be trying to drive his enemy out of position, trying to pull him out into like the lower area here, just so he can drop in the back of the base. However, honestly, little does ProCoombs know, but there are missile turrets here, which actually may come into an important part. One of the medevacs is getting shot down, but the target fire just isn't there. Oh, one medevac does go down. However, the entire drop goes off. Basically unhindered. All of the siege tanks are down on the ground, and that's a lot of siege tanks. We have the attack from the front coming down from ProCoombs, and it looks like he's going for a base trade. However, all of these units just moved into the grinder, like M moved into the grinder. And that was kind of nasty, because now we have this giant attack in the main base, and the Vikings playing their part, sniping off all of the medevacs, because that's kind of all they can do. So sadly, all of the medevac ladies are getting murdered. I'm pretty sure they're actually like the only female characters in the game, except for Banshee pilots. And I think that's it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. But they're just getting they're getting slaughtered right now. It's actually not even cool. And there goes all of the bombs off on these units. It looks like oh wow. Huh. That actually worked a lot better for AngryZombie than I would have expected. That's primarily because this was a really awful spot to siege and all of his tanks were grouped up. But even then, AngryZombie, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. This is just a one-sided slaughter fest. All of the production is going down. MgProCoombs with defensive GG. Man, so BM. However, I guess in that game, yeah, you can get away with it. So anyway, guys, there is not going to be a video this Saturday. I don't think. There might be. I don't know. It's going to be rough on me, but I don't think there will be. You can check out any other Boisterous action over at youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Also, if you want your games commentated, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And there will be a link to a thread on Battle.net down in the description of this video. There's literally only like 6 more slots for you guys to post in, because the thread is about to be closed due to length. So if you want to say something in the original post, if you're really that nostalgic, you can go ahead and type that down. Otherwise, I'll probably just open up a new thread as soon as I get down to like 2 places remaining, and I'll just like fill the other 2 with spam or something. And I'm still waiting on information from the SCL, but that is coming. Anyway, guys, this is Boisterous, signing out.